2, and here's Modi. Hi, everybody. Hi. How are you? So it's early, folks. We are taping today much earlier than we usually do, and this is just, you remember that you were a comedian. Leaving my building today is just everybody shuffling, coming in and out, and the guy where we usually get coffee before the show was in some crazy mood. The place we get coffee down the block, it's usually empty. We walk in, it's like, and it was just ridiculously awful. And then Marcus Monroe walked in all cheery and bright-eyed, holding a McDonald's coffee. Bragged about eating at McDonald's for breakfast today. I don't know when the last time I walked into a McDonald's was.
This is a smoothie. I've never had coffee.
McDonald's has smoothie?
Yeah. I wanted something healthy,
And
so I went to
walked
McDonald's and got a smoothie. I didn't do it right.
I would understand if you were in the middle of America somewhere where they didn't have like a billion different options.
Oh.
Le Petit
No,
Le Petit that, the Quartadin, Schmartadin, all that stuff.
Such a whore for chains. I live right like 2 blocks away from a Domino's in New York City, and I get that probably like twice a week.
No.
Yeah. But I also go to the one-off pizza places in New York that everybody loves. But I love that Brooklyn style crust and that Domino, and then they put the garlic butter around the ring.
Oh my God, that is so awful.
I know. But it's so. And I have the app, and I'm like getting points, and like it makes me feel like productive.
I had a phase where I used to the Papa John's had this cookie thing. It was just
See, the thing is, like, we travel all the time, so I like consistency, and so I'll like rely on chain places because they're not the best food, and like there's tons of better ingredients in other places, but at least you know what you're getting.
Our travels are different. You probably go on the road. You're a comedian.
Sure.
And also juggle.
Yeah, I don't juggle much anymore.
I'm glad to hear that.
No, you don't understand. It's amazing.
What?
It's unbelievable.
Juggling.
It's not like juggling. He juggles like fire.
I know. I've seen it. Not his exact, but I know juggling and other. But so when we have a road experience, much different. You're probably there for like 3-4 nights of the week in wherever you are, right?
Yeah, if I'm doing a club, if I'm doing I do a lot of colleges too. Those are just like one nights.
Right. I usually go for when I do my travel. It's one night in a theater somewhere, and then whoever was a part of the production, we're going for dinner with them in some fancy place that they want to show off.
Yeah. See, I never have like a host like taking me around.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of too bad.
Yeah, but when I did that road, those gnarly.
Taco
Bells.
You're eating. I'm a vegetarian too, so I'm eating
Same.
I'm eating Burger King, and my wife's a vegan, and so she, it's hard. It's hard to eat on the road sometimes. A lot of tofu, a lot of like vegetables. Yeah. So when I'm eating McDonald's, it's probably I have a good balance of like healthy vegan food and like cheap fast food.
Good for you.
My body.
And your wife's vegan. Mm-hmm. It's hard, no?
Yeah, for me it's hard because she's like good at it, but I don't. I'm very picky.
Is she vegan healthy? Vegan like eating vegetables, or vegan Doritos and Oreos?
She does Doritos.
Because those are vegan.
We have tons of Oreos in our cupboard, so she loves the Oreos. She loves like vegan fast food. Like she loves there's a place in LA called Monty's Burger. She loves going there and getting, like fries and just like gross, just like the dirty fast food. Like she loves it.
Yeah, there's a place by our house on Orchard. I forgot the name of it, but it's just like high end vegan food, and the ice cream and every little thing has maybe two cookies or 2 crackers in it, and it's like $9.99. I'm like,
we're going broke because of her lifestyle. 100%.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So your juggling is obviously amazing. I saw videos and stuff, and it's hard. And you worked cruise ships.
I did, yeah. And when I kind of like, I don't know, cut your teeth. Is that what the expression? Cut my teeth on cruises?
Is that what that means? Like when you began?
Yeah, like you gained your
chops.
Okay.
I kind of learned like. It was really nice for me because I'd be performing for like a cruise ship has just like general population of people, right? Just like whoever wants to be on that ship can go. And it was nice for me to be in like a nice theater, and I'd be like directing the lights, and I need these lights here at this point. So I learned a lot about productions and about how to like adapt to certain situations. My act skews a little bit younger than most cruise ship general audiences are typically older, so I was able to, kind of find my own place in the cruise ship, atmosphere, as it were. I was able to like kind of come into my own. And
did I ever discuss cruise ship things here? No. I had a very small stint on those things, on those cruise ships. People understand that the theater seats 1,500 people.
Yeah.
The cruise ship has 3,000, so you do 2 shows, you do 2 seatings in a theater, in a gorgeous theater that's in the middle of the show. And as a comic, it's so hard because you do your first show, and then the second show is already coming in, so they're catching the last 10 minutes of your show, of your first show. So you lose that 10 minutes. You can't do that 10 minutes for the next show.
Oh wow!
You have because they're all standing in the back watching you, and you can't just do all those jokes again.
So you have to have 2 different entire acts?
You just have to know that whatever you're ending with at the end
You
is
can't end with it.
it was the biggest nightmare. I would never do it again. I really didn't enjoy those ships. What happens? I bought an apartment. I needed money, and that was what it was.
Yeah.
And so I did that.
It's a great way to save a lot of money.
Because you're also not spending, and but it was just I did 5 different cruises, and that was it. I never did it again. And
see, I always thought cruise ships were like when I was juggling, there was like the place, like if you weren't gonna be in Vegas, like cruise ships were like the top thing you could do as like a juggler, right?
Right.
So I was like 22, and I was like, all right, I'm on cruise ships now, and it's like, what else am I gonna do?
No.
After
That's
that, I don't want to,
amazing.
because I never wanted to be a ship act. I never wanted that.
No. You want to do no. I mean, whoever is and they love it. And there's comedians I know that went and they do half a year on the ships, and then they come back. But I remember one time I even hosted a show that was for people who were hiring for cruise ships. So they had jugglers and people who juggled their children.
Oh my god!
With their feet, like these
with their feet.
No. There's the couple. There was a couple. It was a beautiful couple, built, and they were like from Czechoslovakia, one of those places.
That checks out.
And they had a child, and they would juggle him back and forth on their legs with fire, and it was insane.
Oh my god!
Crazy act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? These still those crazy acts.
I've seen those acts before. Yeah, they're really impressive.
It is the worst to do those ships. For me, those of you who like it and just good for you. I could not even imagine doing that again.
No, you have to be clean on the ship.
Wow. Yes.
You definitely have to be clean. I haven't done a ship in years, but yeah, you should be clean. And they sometimes have adult shows where you can say whatever you want. But typically, you're working clean for like your main shows.
Lenny Marcus just told me that like you get so much experience if you do those shows because you have to be able to appeal to like such a broad audience, and you're just doing show after show after show after show.
No, but it's also that it becomes very easy because yes, it's a broad audience, but we're all experiencing the same thing. We are all on this ship. We all just went to this place called Cozumel. We all went to this, so we have all that material. So I ended up on the first one I did. I wrote all the jokes for what was my they gave me room so it was so in the bottom of the ship when I opened the curtain I saw propellers. They loved it. And then I was so in the bottom of the ship, I heard the whales farting at night. Those ridiculous, and it just becomes so easy.
Right, yeah.
And so you just do it every show. It's like literally the definition of a hack.
Really?
Literally, that is what a hack is. You write the joke, just sell it every night, and you move on. That's what happens on the ship. You just have your act for that ship.
Yeah, a lot of people get really comfortable doing ships, and they're ship acts, and then something happens. Like there's this one guy, I won't mention his name, but he was a ship act. And this cruise company loved this guy. He got caught with a passenger in his room, which is a big no-no. You can't do that. It's called coning, which is interesting. Did you remember? Have you heard of that?
What is going on right now?
No.
Okay, so if you are on a cruise ship
Yeah.
and you hook up with a passenger, they call it coning because the crew on cruise ships called the passengers cones because they just get in your way.
Oh,
because they just
my
stand there and they
God.
don't get it. They don't move.
Wow, I didn't
So
know
it's
that.
called. So if you hook up with a passenger, it's called coning. And this guy got caught coning, and so he had to. They gave him the 6 o'clock knock. So he got in trouble one night. Then they're just like, all right, we'll go to bed. And then at 6 o'clock, as soon as the ship rolls into port, they knocked on his door, kicked him off the ship. But he was a ship act, and he had nothing. Like, you can't go to, like, Yuck Yucks or, like, the Zanies and talk about being on a cruise ship. Like,
you can't.
don't, like,
your act is for that.
Yeah. So he has no act, so he has to rebuild, start over, and but that's just awful.
Hysterical. I know a guy that was, so one time one of the few times I was on, there was one guy that was on before me, and they had this, there was a convention, I think they call it, of, and I hope I say this right, people, married men with their wives, but the men like to dress as women. What is this?
Transvestite.
Transvestite. Like, straight up in the woman's dress, the pearls, not shaved. It's a thing.
Cross-dressers.
I didn't know if that was the right thing to say or not. I don't want to offend anybody. So that's what it is. And they were on the ship. And it's their annual thing, their
That's
annual
amazing.
convention, and
Love
they take
it.
pictures with the captain, and they and then all of a sudden, now they're sitting in the front area of the show,
Yeah.
So no one told the comedian, hey, by the way, the cross-dressing transvestite convention of da-da-da is here. So when you look out in the audience, you're going to be seeing men dressed as women. The comic comes out.
Oh, my
And
God.
all he sees is men with beards, not attractive men, sitting in dresses and heels, and he just lunges into them and just does his whole, like, just starts ripping on them, and the wives and the whole thing, and like, miss, did you zip him up? All of that kind of stuff.
Miss, did you zip him up?
Yeah, like, whatever. I'm trying to think what his act could have been. I mean, God knows what I would have in my head if I hit that. And they threw him off the ship the next.
They did
right
not.
the next port.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they had to. Otherwise, how would they? They had to throw him off. Yeah.
I did one. I did this twice, but it was a nude cruise.
No.
And they had me fly on. So I was a fly on. So I would fly on to Mexico, Cozumel, fly into Mexico, then leave the next day in Jamaica. Like, I was never on this ship for too long.
I know.
And they were like, I got an email like, hey, just heads up, this is a nude cruise you're going on, so they'll be naked at your show. Just like they're sitting on towels. No. I was like, all right, fine. And then they loved me though, and they were a great audience. It was I think it was called like Bare Necessities was like the company that put on this. Yeah, and then they had me back like the next year. They requested me to come back.
That's so nice.
But I was not naked. I was fully clothed doing my act.
Of course.
Yeah.
You can't do with you. I saw you flip the knives and the swords. You can't be naked doing that.
Definitely not.
No,
definitely not.
No,
it was a wild show.
It's a whole world. I remember one of the night I saw this one. So these are theaters that are stunning, and they have those those silk. The silk ribbons that the women do the acrobats and the ballet on them. So those are controlled by somebody backstage. So it brings them forward and back, and it helps her do whatever. And the guy that was running it on one of the cruises before me was drunk or high, and he hit the wrong button and flung her into the first two rows. Flung her.
Oh,
she
my
landed
God.
this poor thing. Remember this poor thing, the two people sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
And there was video of that, thank God. So I got to see that.
Oh, my
really,
God.
Thank
I had
God.
a similar experience. At the end of my show, I would juggle fire. And this was back when you could juggle fire on cruise ships. I don't think you can do that anymore. And
why not? COVID?
Yeah, no, I think probably because of what I'm about to tell you. And the cruise director, who is like the head of the entertainment, usually like hosts the show, who was like, hey, Marcus, I'm going to throw you your fourth torch, because I was juggling like up to 5 at the time. I was like, okay, great. So I'm juggling 3, then I signal for him to throw me the 4th, but I saw that he lit it backstage. He was going to throw it to me lit. I was like, no, don't. And I like didn't have time to say, no. and he threw it. It went over my head into the audience.
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah. And then I was like, but he's in charge. The boss did it, so like I'm fine. I can't get in trouble for that. Like he was an idiot and just like threw it as high as he could. It was nowhere near my hands.
Yeah, I actually got so believe it or not, I had a contract to do 10 different shows, not all in a row, just like spread out. And I actually I was terminated, I think. Now that I think about it, because I said the wrong thing. I said you have to, all of America is here.
Yeah.
You
cannot offend anybody.
Not a thing. And the captain, when he made the announcements, he was Norwegian or whatever he was, and so every announcement came out of and we're landing in Cozumel, and I make sure you're on the not the dinghy. What's those transport things called? Mm-hmm. And I imitated him, and I said, and and of course all of us Jews are just thinking, where are we gonna hide? And that was it. Got to him, and that was. Sometimes God helps you cancel what you need to get out of, and that was I was thank God that happened.
Yeah, I'm thankful I did ships, but I'm happy not to ever go in one again.
Yeah, I think what did you grind your teeth? Is that what we do?
Cut your teeth. I think that's the expression, right?
You also got in trouble recently with a fire situation.
What happened? Refresh my memory.
The airplane.
Oh, yeah, I did. I got on. Oh man.
What happened?
So when the pandemic happened, I joined TikTok, like a lot of millennials, right?
I saw you more than just joined. You killed it on TikTok.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
And I had an idea because I wasn't doing great on the app when I first started. I had this idea of like combining two things: a video that everyone, like people like traveling and people like cooking. So my idea was to make a video where I grill a steak in the bathroom of an airplane. And so I booked a flight. I booked a flight to Milwaukee to see my family for Thanksgiving last year. I brought all this stuff with me. I went into the bathroom, set up a little tripod thing, and recorded myself grilling a steak in the bathroom of an airplane. I posted it that day, the day before Thanksgiving. Woke up to an Atlanta number calling me, and it was Delta Airlines who had saw the TikTok, and then they put me on the no-fly list.
Wow.
But I was like, yo, wait, hold on. It was fake. Like, I just made it look like I was grilling a steak. You can't really light fire in a bathroom without anyone noticing.
So what did they do?
I'm still banned on the
Delta?
Yeah, for life.
Oh my God. No, really?
It's a permanent ban.
So you can't fly Delta?
No, and that sucks because they're the best airline.
Wow.
They are the best one.
Oh my God.
And it not only that though, Southwest Airlines saw my TikTok because I deleted it after they called me after Delta called me that morning. I was like,
it had like millions.
Well, I only had like 12,000 views on my TikTok, but Southwest Airlines saw it, ripped it, put it on their Twitter account with the caption, "You better not try this in any of our airplanes," which to me sounded like a dare. And then it had like 4 million views or something.
Wow.
And then that's what really propelled everyone to like watch this TikTok. And then it got written up in Yahoo, Fox News, CNN.
That's insane.
Everyone did articles about it and like wrote about it, and like I had a lot of press requests and a lot of hate messages. People thinking I was some monster who's just like trying to get clout. Like, so I'm actually like lighting a fire in a bathroom, like putting people's lives at risk, which I would never do. All I did was put a flashlight that had like flickered like fire into the toilet. And then, like, I went to film school, so I know, like, special effects and stuff. So I just did that. I thought no one's going to think this is real.
For 1 million followers on TikTok, I would burn the Korban Pesach, the sacrifice of Passover, in the bathroom of a Delta airline.
But I've never had any backlash from anything I've ever done. And to get just, like, heaps of that, like, I used to take myself off social media for a week. I was like... My manager was like, "Don't check your social media."
Oh, wow.
He's like, "It's not good." He had I have a Google alert for my name. I had to take it off, and he was like, "I'll monitor it." And I was like, "Okay, let me know if anything's really bad." He's like, "Well, it's all pretty bad."
Wow.
But then I got over it, and sometimes I still like little articles still like pop up on my feed, like in my Google alerts from time to time. But it's been, people kind of forget. But I do a story about it. I did it at the Cellar last night. I actually showed the video of the TikTok because it's like it's really hard to find. You can find some websites have it, but a lot of them I did like a copyright takedown on the video. So I showed it last night at the Cellar, and I did like the whole story. I show a press montage of like all the articles that said I was
a genius.
One of them called me like a dumbass TikTok star, girls take an airplane bathroom. I'm like, hold on, TikTok star, let's talk about this.
Yeah,
go on,
we'll take it.
Yeah, I had to get a lawyer. I have like T-shirts now printed up that say "Steaks on a Plane," and it's with like the snakes on a plane logo.
I want one of those.
Yeah, I'll
That's
get
so
you one. I'll get you
amazing.
both one. Leo, you can have one too. I'm just trying to, capitalize on my big
You should.
mistake. No pun intended.
It's a mistake. Hilarious.
That's amazing. We have to get you back on Delta, though.
Oh, so my
that's
plan-
the thing. It's like you didn't do anything.
My plan to get me back on Delta
Is what?
Is to take a 5-week flight attendant course and become a Delta flight attendant.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
And I want to like
Brilliant.
document it and just see how far I can get until they notice that. Wait, that's the guy who grilled the. I should
steak.
probably stop talking about what my plan
What
is.
are you, like Muhammad Atta?
Yeah, I got to get back on Delta somehow, baby. I love Delta. They're great.
There's a porn star that had sex with one of the flight attendants in the bathroom of Delta, and that was an issue too for a while.
I didn't know that. I didn't know all these hijinks
No,
went
no,
down in the
all the
bathroom that have
hijinks.
nothing to do with
Yeah,
with
yeah.
using the bathroom.
Yeah, you
Listen,
gotta-
I'm going to tell you something. My best friend, since I was 12 years old, works for Delta.
What does she do?
She's a flight attendant.
Oh my gosh.
But she's like, pretty high up because it works by seniority.
Oh, great.
So we might, she might be able to
I wonder
put
what
you in touch with the right person over there.
I've done this steak story before, and on my way out of the venue, a guy like grabbed me and he was like, "Hey, I'm a Delta pilot."
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Did you hear about this?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I know. I knew all about." As soon as you said like I made a video cooking a steak, I was like, "Oh, this is the guy." And I asked him, I said, "Did people hate me?" I was just curious, like, because the articles were really bad. Like they like dragged me through like press. And he's like, "No, we thought it was hilarious." We're like, "Everyone
course they
knows it's
did.
not real."
Yeah.
And he's like, and then I have a friend who's a pilot on Alaska Airlines. He wears my Steaks on a Plane shirt under his uniform
Oh, that's
sometimes.
so funny.
Like, yeah, like the pilots thought it was hilarious. I just think people thought they're going to be copycats. Delta and people
Right.
writing articles thought, okay, well, there's going to be other people trying to do weird things in the bathroom
I
for
even
clout.
think about that. Yeah.
And I was like, but that's kind of like a bullshit argument, though, because we've all seen like snakes on a plane. No one's bringing snakes onto a plane. You know what I mean? Like, we can't.
That's what they're worried about now.
They're just, but like you just copycat like argument. There's gonna be people trying to do it. Like, are they really gonna bring?
They're going to go to film school.
Yeah,
and,
they're really gonna go to exactly. They're gonna go to film school. They're gonna learn how to edit videos. So what if they do? As long as you don't put anyone's life at risk, and
You're like, are they really going to go to film school? Says the guy who's about to take a course to become a
become
flight
pilot,
attendant.
yes.
I think it's a good tag to the bit.
It's commitment to your mishagas. It's
Yes.
whatever your craziness, commit to it.
Yeah, I did try to fly on Delta after they put me on the no-fly list. I booked a flight. I went to the airport just to see, and I recorded the whole thing. They were like, "No, you're on the no-fly list." I was
Really?
like,
So
yeah.
it really does exist, those things. Like
Yeah, I wasn't sure because my account wasn't closed. Like, they never closed my Sky Miles account. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm able to book a flight. They took my money. So then I went to the airport. They're like, oh, to check in, you have to go to the desk. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be
And what'd you
good.
do? When you had to get another flight?
No, it was 8 minutes of this guy just like on the computer, on the phone, looking at my passport for a domestic flight. And then he was like, yeah, no, you're on the no-fly list. So then I had to take a Southwest flight the next day.
Wow, that's so sad. Yeah, because Delta is my thing too.
Oh yeah, Delta. I love Delta.
Oh, that's
my
so
wife still flies Delta the most. Like, we'll take separate. Like, we'll go to the same place. She'll fly Delta. I'll fly on American. And like,
What does your wife
I'll be there
do?
like 2 days after her. She works in healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a contact tracer for a little while when COVID started.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
right
wow.
when it was pretty heavy.
And you both live in New York?
Yeah.
Where?
We live on the Upper East Side right now.
Upper East Side.
Close to our friend Eric Newman. Yeah.
Yes, our friend Eric Newman. Yeah, yeah. Upper East. You like the Upper East Side?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I went to school there like in 2004. I went to Marymount in 71st and 2nd, so I kind of know that area kind of pretty well.
Yeah, so
it's not bad.
And you still want to stay there?
Well, yeah. I mean, we only moved back to the Upper East Side like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
how long have you been with your wife?
12 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And there's an age difference, I know, between.
Yeah, she's 15 years older than me. Wait, I don't think it's been 12 years. No, it's about 11 years we've been together.
Married?
Married for 8.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And she's 15 years. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good. I like a good old age gap, baby.
Oh, she figured if she can't find a good man, she'll raise one.
I want a wife that. Yeah, exactly. I want a wife that I have nothing in common with. Like, that's great.
No, you have love.
Yeah. We get along so good.
Okay.
But we just have such different interests. Like, I'm obsessed with like boy bands.
Okay.
I like to watch wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, and she's into like personal growth and helping others. You know, like she's at that. She's very selfless, and yeah. In fact, right now she's going shopping. There's this homeless man that lives like in our area. She's like going to buy him new clothes.
Wow.
So she's a great person. Yeah.
What a
and
soul.
you're here doing.
And I'm here doing a podcast, eating McDonald's, like
No,
getting high, but like, yeah, good.
No, you're also helping people, making people laugh. and
Yeah, I hope
that's
so.
It's a big thing. It's a thing. So now you're working at the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
You loving it?
I love it. Yeah, I got passed in 2019.
Okay.
And I right before the pandemic, like December.
I know.
And so I was there for like pretty solid for like 2 months, and I've just been doing a lot of traveling. So now that I'm back in the city, it's nice to be back.
Yeah. Were you doing all the shows when they were just opening up with the plexiglass?
I
and
did
all
that, yeah. Well, I even did the Olive Tree Cafe, like when it was still just like dinner only with friends. I was doing that, and that was fun.
That was.
I mean, I
fun.
ate a lot of shit, but it was a lot of fun.
I mean, you ate crap. You mean on from the show, not the food.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no,
The food's great.
I did it once, and I've been in the worst situations in the world, but I said no. I'm gonna wait till this opens up.
I had to say I did it a few times. I just wanted to try it.
Me too. I wanted to try it, but it was just not. I couldn't.
I didn't do any park shows. I did some rooftop shows, but. Yeah,
I was doing shows during the pandemic, like shows.
I did a club. I did in July of 2020. I went to Wisconsin and I featured for T.J. Miller, and that was like right there in the thick of things, and I was probably not the best idea.
No, but yes, but I also had shows. I mean, the Orthodox Jewish community.
Oh yeah,
they didn't have patience for this whole pandemic, and so we were doing shows, backyards. Hey, backyards. And
okay,
cool.
They were outside at least.
Some were outside, some were not outside.
That's enraging.
But it was, but no one, everybody was fine. They were okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to take the gigs, you know.
Yeah,
gotta take the work.
Take the work, and I didn't. I thought it was okay. I wasn't worried about it at all. Okay, what's happening with you now? Like, where are you besides the Comedy Cellar? When you're in New York. What's going on?
I have a podcast with Eric Newman.
That's right.
Called Marcus and Eric Learn Stuff from Smarter People, it's a fun podcast because we talk to people who have interesting jobs and just like it's not really entertainment related.
Right.
We talk to people who are like prison guards, drug dealers, conspiracy theorists, and like we just talk to them, pilots, and we just talk to them about their careers and their life, and you know, because we're so used to talking to just other comics.
Right.
That I wanted to learn stuff from people who are like way smarter than us or have different like expertise in different areas.
That's your in to Delta, by the way.
I hope so.
That's your in
to what?
To Delta.
Yes, the pilot for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah. So Eric's great, and you guys definitely have good energy.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He's an awesome guy. We really hung out almost every day. We would write during the quarantine. We'd get together.
And his brother.
And if we were at his apartment, him and his brother.
Chime in, as I call him. Yeah.
Why do you call him that?
Because he always chimes in. He
I
always thinks
see.
he has what to say. So when Eric was on, we spoke about his brother.
He's great.
Not speaking about his brother again today.
Okay. All right. We don't have to talk about David.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about him. Yeah, I got. I always hate to talk about things that aren't like finalized, you know. Like, but I got some things going on. I post all my shows on Instagram and TikTok. Just search Marcus
So tell
Monroe.
me something.
Yep.
Sometimes you have 1 million followers on TikTok.
Almost, yeah.
Almost 1 million
Yeah.
followers. What I'm Instagram. I'm an Instagram guy.
Gotcha.
I don't.
We got to get you over to TikTok, man. You would do so well. I always tell all these comedians, get on TikTok now because it's the only app that you can like get actually famous from still, like kind of like overnight if you wanted to.
So I think we are trying we're not trying to. We're getting it, figuring out the algorithms and whatever bits work in that little time. Because there's no attention span. I mean, I'm a drop older than you and Eric. I'm probably more like where your wife is.
All right. Listen, I think it doesn't matter how old you are to be on TikTok. If you're funny, if you have good content, that's all that matters.
Okay.
And yeah, I think if the best thing to do is have your clips be between 13 to 30 seconds. That's it. Even though you can go 3 minutes, people aren't on TikTok to watch 3-minute long videos. And then just ask at the end of your video, ask for them to follow you. Like, hey, hit plus for more LOLs, or like hit plus if you agree. And hit plus is like the add button. So like if they, if they're just like, oh yeah, I like this guy, I'll follow this guy. It really helps. That's how you can grow really, really fast. Also, if you're putting up like performing clips, just add subtitles to it, like captions. So people who
that even on Instagram that really helps. People are watching this. They're on the subway. They're in
so. They don't have headphones, or they're at work and they shouldn't be on their phones.
Right.
So just add subtitles really helps a lot.
Yeah, my subtitles are palm because I throw in Hebrew words and Yiddish words.
Oh yeah.
But it does.
It really helps. I'm not so good on Instagram. I'm trying really, really hard. I posted a ton of reels, and I hear that's what you're supposed to do to
we
pop
switched
off.
over. I was like an addict to getting how many views. Like, oh my God, it got 17,000 in the first day, and now the reels doesn't show you. Like, it shows the guy whose account it is, but it doesn't show the people how many views it has. So, but whatever. It's a little addictive to the
extremely.
It's
so dumb.
But it's so amazing.
Yeah.
You get shows filled. You get butts into seats, and you get it, and it's
you definitely can. The thing about my TikTok following is that they're all very young and can't get into clubs yet.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
so
like
I have close to 1 million followers, but like all of them would have to be like, do you have a show for kids? Like, no.
Well, maybe there's something to that.
But
maybe
you do juggling. So isn't that the number one things for kids? No.
I mean, yeah, but I don't do like when I'm going to a club. I'm not gonna bring my juggling stuff for like some TikTok crew.
I not once, but many times when I was in the Catskills, I followed juggling acts, and the amount of crap they had to bring was insane. And, boxes and stuff and all that.
Not just balls?
It took everything I had to remember to bring socks with my suit.
The last juggling show I did was in a college, and I opened up my case and I forgot all of my stuff. Like, I just had clothes in my juggling case, so I was like, oh no. So my wife and I had to run to Walmart. There was one like 6 minutes away, and we had like half hour before the show started. We bought like axes and like actual like camping axes to juggle, and like weird stuff that I could like. And I didn't tell anyone at the venue that I didn't have any of my stuff, and I pulled it off.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, one time there was a juggler and there were kids in the audience, and I went on afterwards, and then and some kid yelled out, "Aren't you going to do anything with balls?" I go, if I'm doing something with my balls up here, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I remember one time I followed, this is a magician, and he had the pigeons or the doves or whatever they had. And the show ended up starting much later than it was supposed to. People coming in late. It was a Jewish audience, and one of the doves died.
Oh my God,
that's
amazing!
And he went crazy. You really have to. When you have props, it is not a joke.
Live animals, especially those
live
doves.
Live animals is disgusting. First of all, it's gross that he had that.
If you're the magician using the doves, they have to be like in small harnesses, like in small confined places before the show, because they like make them appear from certain places. So they're like tucked in like your jacket or pants or stuff, and they're like real,
Right. So these were in, and this is a magician that was on Letterman and all that stuff, and he had the box, and 4 of them were there, and one was just like dead on the floor dead, and because it was started late, and I guess they choked or whatever. It's so gross to use animals in your act like that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge.
That was my vegan.
You could just go like, can't you do like a trick where you kill it? Like, wouldn't that be like a good way to just?
Well, yeah, I would have probably done. Okay, and then play dead.
Yeah,
for a long time, while the other ones do their thing. You play dead.
That's hysterical.
Just imagine the magician like fighting back tears that whole show just because his favorite bird died.
He was freaking backstage. His name. He was a million times.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was the amazing Kazan. It was on Letterman a million times. That was his thing. He was like, Letterman always had him on.
Wow.
Always had him on for like 2 seconds. Do a trick, go, and that was it.
I did that. I would do Letterman bits like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing on Letterman that you did?
Juggled like knives on top of a really tall unicycle. That was like one of my favorites.
I don't know how. How do you wake up one day and go, here's what I'm doing today? I'm gonna learn how to juggle knives on a unicycle. How does it begin? Just the unicycle starts. I guess.
Unicycle, you're just a small one. Just
how old were you when you were like
10? Like I was, obviously.
When there's no fear.
Well, I had like, I think now I would be worried about what people would think about me. Like I have a little bit more like self-awareness than I did when I was a kid, because I would like unicycle all around like the town I grew up in. I could just imagine now like what people were saying to me like.
I thought you meant comedians, like, because comedians aren't very fond of magic acts and jugglers.
No,
and all that.
But I that's why I don't really do. Like I'm not gonna go to like the Comedy Cellar and like set up my show. Like, and I don't really. Yeah. So now I'm just doing stand up, pure stand up, but. But yeah, wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, growing up, I was just like all about it. I started when I was 9, and it was like my identity. It was like the juggler. And
where'd you grow up?
In Wisconsin, in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, the nice. They're known for being the nice people.
Milwaukee's great. Yeah, Milwaukee's really nice, and I grew up in like a really like supportive small town. And it's great. And my parents still live in like the house I grew up in.
What does that mean, supportive small town? I never heard that expression to describe.
I've actually never said that before. It was like a really nice place to live. It was a community of like, I just want to say like 20,000 people in this like village, and village. They call it a village.
Are they all so proud of you?
I don't know. I don't think anyone remembers me from back there, but I do go back to my high school like every year, and I'm like, I talk to like the senior class. I give like a little.
Really?
Yeah, they have me do like comedy for the senior class.
That's awesome.
But they've never been to comedy clubs before, so it's not. They don't really know how to act.
Now, I'll bet there are no Jewish jugglers with knives. That's like probably.
Oh, you're right. Not doing like under the leg throws.
The amazing Shlomo, help me welcome to the stage.
Well, just because I feel like it's really nerve-wracking. Like you could really hurt yourself.
I'm trying to think if I know any. I don't think I do.
I'm sure there are.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Hit us up, guys. I want to hear.
We want to know
you.
if there are any Jewish guys that juggle knives and axes and all the things that you shouldn't be juggling. Let us know. We want to know.
But I was never that good. I would always get injured because people would want to see people would want to see the dangerous stuff, and I'd always want to do that for them, but I was not that good, so I'd always get hurt on stage. It was like people were like, oh no, what is he gonna do now?
What do you mean hurt? Like your hand cut, your knife, your face?
Oh, I took a chainsaw to my bicep once. I broke both my feet jumping off a 12-foot tall unicycle while I had a firework exploding from my head while I'm juggling fire and knives. Like I was not like
not that good. I love
not only can he not fly Delta anymore, I promise you, State Farm Insurance is never giving you a policy.
Oh my gosh! Yesterday, my wife had to renew my insurance, and she's like, "Well, you're not doing juggling anymore, so we can pay like a lower premium." I'm like, "This is great."
Oh really?
Yeah,
it's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to tell the insurance company I juggle for a living.
Well, it's like performers insurance.
Okay.
Do you have that?
No, I have regular health insurance.
Yeah, so some of these gigs, I guess maybe they just like Google me. They're like, we want Marcus to get this show insured.
And how much more is it? Like a lot?
No, it's like a yearly, like it's an annual fee of like maybe like $500 or something. It's not that much, but it's like, I'm covered if anything happens.
Do you imagine the two guys like in the insurance company? Let's watch the video. He's throwing knives into what a putz. He's really. I'm not getting that $500. He's not gonna hurt himself, and it's $500.
It used to be a lot more when I was doing dangerous stuff, but now like I just
Well, you grew up now. You're older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be like that. No. That was the other thing. I can't be like in my 30s still doing like the juggling stuff.
Wow, I can't.
It's just hilarious. You never think that like, oh, this guy, like you watch somebody throwing knives that like, oh, but he's actually not that good, right? Like,
right.
It never occurred to you as like an
you
audience
think there's
member.
no way he's not gonna nail it. He's gonna definitely nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you bring someone from the audience, stand here. I'm gonna throw this knife right by your head.
Yeah. And I would.
It's gonna be an amazing trick either way.
Exactly.
Either way, this is going to be
get out your
very
phones.
good thing to watch.
The dove is dead, and the audience member is also dead.
It was the juggler that killed the dove.
Do you bring the audience members on? Have you ever done things with audience members on?
Rarely. I like to be in control, so I don't like a whole lot of other like inner audience participation. I know everyone loves that, but I'll do it on my own terms.
I always watch people who do bring audience. Some comedians do that. They have them read something or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Don Rickles. Don Rickles did this bit where he brought people on stage, and they were like, "You're an Indian chief," and he had them going, "Ho,
oh my God!"
And then the other guys, and you go, "Hey, yeah," and he had these. Doing, and then while they're all doing it, now they have guys from the audience in a suit and whatever, and a tie, and they're going, "Hi, yeah," right? And then he would just turn to the audience. Could you believe that they're doing this? It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was just that's the only
really
comedian
funny.
I remember doing any bringing the audience on.
That's really funny. I love that.
What does your wife think about all of this?
We met after a show. Like that's how we met. She saw me perform, and then she was like, "Hey."
That closed the deal?
I don't know if it closed the deal. I did a lot of like she kind of like she wanted to book me for a show.
Right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
so
just
funny.
like a private party, and I was like, "Oh, I live in New York." I was like, "But wait." Then like, but we were both kind of seeing other people at the time, and then we kind of just like were messaging like on like emailing each other. Like for 8 months, we would just email and like weren't thinking anything of it. Just like kind of funny, like updating her on what I'm up to. She was telling me what she's up to. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to be back in Wisconsin because that's where she was. And I was like, would you like to get a drink? And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. Let's meet up. So we met up and like we were just then from that moment on always together.
And there's something else interesting.
Yeah, yep. So I am a grandpa. I have a granddaughter. And she is 9 months old yesterday.
This is from her.
So she had a daughter from a previous marriage who's only 5 years younger than me. Mm-hmm. And so my stepdaughter Hannah had a baby 9 months ago during the pandemic.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
you're a Zadie. You're a Zadie.
What does that mean?
It's grandpa in Yiddish.
Oh, amazing.
Zadie. It's so funny that you're a grandpa.
On the no-fly list.
On the no-fly list.
Oh yeah, my life is insane right now. There's a lot of layers to it, but I love it. I love being a grandpa, I guess. You're like, I'm a grandpa before I'm a dad. Like that's like the weirdest thing. And also my parents aren't even grandparents yet. They have 3 like kids and they
have great grandkids.
Yeah, my grandparents have a great granddaughter and they don't have any regular grandkids yet. I'm sure.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, of course. I think so. Yeah,
but of course. Like,
yeah, I think so. But like, it's also like I don't know how. Like, we'll probably adopt or foster.
I don't know if there's a video if you don't know how.
No, well, so my wife and I, we went to like specialty. We had trouble having kids, so we went to doctors and like tried to do. But like this doctor was like, oh, it's gonna be like, he's like $12,000 for like the first, or like no, it was like $20,000 for IVF, and he was like, there's only like a 6% chance and it's gonna work.
Oh wow, are you Jewish by any chance?
No, I'm not.
Is your wife?
No.
Okay.
No.
But those numbers don't add up.
Yeah, I was like, this is a casino. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that doesn't. No.
Yeah, I was no.
But you guys really are trying to have kids now, right?
We did. Well, we did it like 10 years ago. We tried when it was like more feasible for her to like bear a child.
Okay.
Now you might bear
I mean,
the
I've heard
child.
people having kids deep into their like late 40s, 50s, even, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. It's just like she just like I can't like physically like I just don't want to do that. So we would have to do like a surrogate, or go along adopt. Yeah, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. It doesn't have to be my like blood child. It doesn't have to have my DNA. It probably shouldn't actually have my DNA. If we're being completely honest.
Why not?
Like, I don't know. Listen.
No, you're a fun guy. You're
thank you.
good, handsome, tall. There's no reason why the kid shouldn't have your.
We'll see. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, my friends Michael and Lance Bass from NSYNC, they just welcomed two set of twins into their life.
Wow.
And they did the surrogate, and
now they're exhausted.
Now
they are finished. Now they just want to give you one of those kids.
Well, do you feel like this when your friends have kids? Like you just they're done. Like you're not friends with them anymore because their life has just completely changed. Like you can't do what you used to do with them.
Don't forget when my friends were when my friends were having their kids, they couldn't do things with me anyway because I was working a lot. I was working every night. I was on the road. I was doing shows every night in the city, in the cellar, the comedy clubs going on the road, and they were busy having kids, and I got to enjoy them, and I got to watch those kids grow up.
Sure, yeah, that's really fun. But do you like hang out with your friends anymore?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, especially now that the kids are older.
Yeah, I guess when they're older. Yeah, when they're young. Yeah, like I have a feeling like a lot of my friends are having kids, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but like I'll never see you again.
In the beginning, it's really hard.
Yeah,
it is.
You have a kid, so yeah.
But your kid's older.
He's 8. He loves Marcus though, because I always showed him Marcus's videos.
Right.
And like that, maybe that is your target juggling audience.
8-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe. I don't know. That sounded weird.
It did sound very, very weird.
I don't know.
So what else is there to talk about? We're almost done. But it was so much fun to have you here.
Hey, this was a great way to start the day.
And it was a start, and we definitely don't book. We shouldn't book 10 a.m.
No more. It's too early. He likes to tell me that he gets up early at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I do, but I'm at home doing stuff. I don't.
No. 9 o'clock isn't early.
Right. We had this. We had this the other
No,
day,
I think it is.
It's early.
I had to set an alarm.
It's more early than. I don't mean. If I wake up at 9, I'm in my house. I put my tefillin on, my prayers, whatever. And then I get things done. And then it's 11. You walk out. People are already where they need to be. Mm-hmm. They're not in my lobby trying to get out and in and trying to be polite and not be polite. And then you get outside and then the coffee shop.
You lost him at tefillin because he doesn't know what that is.
But our audience knows it's we wrap leather around our arm every morning.
I've seen it. I've been to LaGuardia. I've seen it.
Yes, in LaGuardia Airport, if your flight's super early, you just get there and then you just check in and then you put your tefillin on in the morning. But when you see that, what do you think? When you see a guy standing there with a white prayer shawl and leather wrapped around his arm, what is going through your head as a comedian? What's your?
Whenever I see it, it's too early to think of anything. So I'm just like, okay, I know what they're doing because I lived in Brooklyn in a very like heavy Hasidic neighborhood.
Which one?
Well, I lived off the G train at Flushing, right? Like on Marcy and Flushing.
Oh yeah, you're Williamsburg.
Yeah,
Williamsburg. That's the Satmar community.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you saw all of it. Yeah.
And they're like, I would like get home at for 3 or 4 in the morning, and there'd be like families out on walks, in my neighborhood.
Hasidim don't sleep.
Yeah, I've noticed
They really don't sleep.
Why?
I don't know. They're always out busy doing stuff, coming, going. I don't think sleep is in their headspace.
Really?
It's just they don't. They're always out. My friend went to this event my friend went to this Hasidic gravesite in Hungary, and just everybody was up just 24 hours. There was nobody sleeping, and it was just he couldn't get it. He didn't understand it. It's a thing. It's like they're living life. It's like,
all right, I'm living life too, but I'm still taking naps here and there.
Right.
Do you nap?
Once in a while, yeah.
Do you nap?
No, I can't.
You can't nap?
I have sleeping problems. Like, it's hard for me to shut my brain off to go to sleep. So taking a nap is out of the question.
So how do you fall asleep?
Well, I do some vaping. I'll do some Seroquel.
Vaping,
like with like a weed pen or
Yeah,
something.
What's Seroquel?
Seroquel is like it's a medication usually given to, I think it's like bipolar or schizophrenic, but it's also used to treat insomnia, and that's why I'm taking it. I take a very low dose of it.
Wow, every night?
Every night, yeah. It's not like a.
What are you, Michael Jackson?
No, it's not a.
That's
It's not a.
way
It's
before
not
that.
like a crazy intense drug. It's really not. It's not like It's not what do they call it?
SSR?
Yeah, I don't think it's one of those. Like, it's just like a.
But it's above Ambien. It's above.
No, it's not above I have Ambien on reserve too for like those nights where like it's like 3 a.m. and I can't, like, I'm just still laying there.
No, I have my Ambien. I have right by my bed. I have a.
I do
Ambien.
dumb stuff on Ambien though. I do I'll text
setting
weird people.
steaks on fire.
Yeah.
I wish. No, I take my Ambien. If I go to bed, okay, let me just see if I can get this done. If I wake up I usually fall asleep and then bam, out of nowhere I'm waking up hard, 2:30, bam, eyes wide open. I'm like, no, this is not good. And it's only 2:30, so I know the Ambien on me has a shelf life. In me, it works only for 4 hours.
Sure.
I don't get any more than that out of an Ambien pill. So I just grab it right from I keep it right by the bed.
That's
right by the bed. And then I'll pop it in, and it sucks not being able to sleep.
It does. It really does.
The worst thing.
Do you're and Perry, this might be a question for you too. Do you get your best ideas right before you fall to sleep? Like your best jokes, your best ideas of oh, this bit is gonna work if I do this. Like I'm just going through my act in my head every single night, taking notes on my notes app, just writing my set.
No, before I go to sleep, the things in my head are: do I refinance? Do I the mortgage? Is they're really saying 2.5%, but no one's really giving 2.5%. If it's a co-op, you're not. So why did this guy not get back to me? He's an anti-Semite. That's why he's not giving me that's at night. The ideas come to me at the gym.
At the gym. All right.
At the gym. Those are before I work out, I have a little marijuana. Before I work out.
Do you smoke it or do you eat
I
edible?
take 2 puffs.
Okay.
2 puffs before I go to bed. I have 1 joint, and it's for the whole week.
Oh, wow.
It's the whole week, and before I walk into the gym, I take 2 hits, and my mind goes, and I have the best workouts of my life.
Wow.
And that's when it hits me.
That's great.
That's when the ideas hit me. That's when
you were so funny. I saw you at the Cellar 2 nights ago. So funny.
Thank you.
Really good.
The Comedy Cellar is one of the most magical places in the world.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
We're going to have Noam, the owner, on here, not to talk about politics, to talk about the actual miracle of that place. It is, but yeah.
That's great.
I'm so glad to meet. I see you at the Cellar. It's funny. The older comedians. We come in and we see all these new faces, and we're we have no idea who anybody is.
Yeah.
And Eric, I always walk in and I go, Eric, get over here. And he sits and I go, who's that? Who's this? Who's that? Who's this? He's a writer on that. He's a this on that. Esty just passed him. This one's this and that.
Yeah.
And at first I felt bad, but then David tells something and goes, I have no idea who anybody here is either.
That's a great
tell
impression.
Yeah, it's good. But I'm so glad I got to meet you and hang out with you.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you too.
And how do they find out about you?
Wait. Modi asks a question.
Oh, I always forget this.
That's what I'm here. That's the only reason I'm
No.
actually here.
No.
To remind him every show.
No. So I always ask, who's your rabbi? And by rabbi, it means who's your spiritual leader? Who would you go to for spiritual advice or like a guru?
This might sound like a.
If I had a guess.
Yeah.
Your wife.
Close.
Your grandchild.
Well, okay. So my wife thinks of things. I'm very impulsive. I make decisions without having all the information. One typically needs to make a decision. My wife is very she thinks everything out. So when I need to make a business decision or something like that, it'll be my wife. But my dad is actually really like we're on like the same level. Like we can connect very easily.
Nice.
And he and I, like, I'm a sensitive guy. Like, I don't mind saying that. Like, you know, I'll cry. I go through all the emotions. And my dad, I think, is like the same way. Although I've never seen him cry. But I think like he knows me. He understands me. So whenever I need any guidance or support in that respect, then I'll go to my dad, and I can trust him. And you know, he's a great guy.
Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice.
That's very sweet. It's very, very
What's
sweet.
his name?
His name is Rick.
Oh.
Rick Monroe.
Hi,
Monroe.
Rick.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick.
Hi, Dad.
All right, tell everybody where they can find you, see you.
All right, let's help me blow up my Instagram, please. Follow me at Marcus J. Monroe, or just search Marcus Monroe. Same on TikTok. But TupacIsStillAlive.com is my website. I took an Ambien once, woke up and had a website.
Oh my God, hilarious. And you?
I'm at Periel Ashenbrand on Instagram.
Okay, not sure when this is exactly airing, but well, tomorrow night I'm at the. The 26th of October, I'm at the Broward Center in Fort Lauderdale. Can't wait for that show. I've been adding things onto the show that are really, really good. And then I'm November 9th in Skokie. I'm at Governor's on December 2nd. Let me see if I can do it myself. I'm at Stand Up on the 18th of November. 18th of November, I'm at Stand Up. But the most important thing, ModiLive.com, Modi_live on Instagram. Reach out. We love all of your information. And again, people who want to sponsor a podcast or advertise your merchandise on this, get in touch with us, ModiLive.com or Modi_live on Instagram, and we love your feedback. They love you.
They do?
They really, really. You see it. You send it to me. Show, look how much they love me, and you send it to me, and so it's good. Thank you so much for hanging.
Oh, my
today.
pleasure. Thank you for having me, Modi. This was great. Periel, it's always great to see you.
Always.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.